Welcome to episode 63 of Behind the Catch Fence. I'm your host, David Hoffman. It's been a little bit, but we're back after a couple weeks with another wave of guests. Today, reigning NHRA Pro Stock Motorcycle champion Gaige Herrera joins the show. Herrera is fresh off a record-breaking weekend in Virginia when he scored his 10th straight win, and that set the record for the most consecutive wins in NHRA history in any division. Naturally, we had to get him on the show to talk about the amazing accomplishment. So let's go to our conversation. Sit back, relax, grab your favorite snack, maybe some Mission Food Chips since they're the title sponsor of NHRA. Go enjoy this episode with Gaige Herrera. You've had some time to digest and kind of reflect on 10 straight, pro stock
Yeah,
motorcycle wins, most all time, and all of NHRA. Just, having that time to process just everything, and what do you look back to the most through all of that, the craziness of, wow, we actually did it?
yeah. It's insane. I think that Bob Glidden set that that record in what 1978, 79. So for us to do it now, it's very unbelievable. With all the the crazy, all the teams put in crazy amount of work. So for us to go out there, be able to do 10 in a row, it's very it's kind of a bragging right for the team. I feel, which is it's awesome. The team gets should be getting more credit than me, and because it's mainly them than myself. But overall, it's like you said, it's very surreal. It's hard to like fully process what we've been accomplishing in such a short amount of time. We got the national record. We did the 10 straight wins. I think now I got 39 straight round wins. It's insane, and it's I I I try to block all of it out and just focus on racing, but it's hard. My name now is recognized in AHRA. And I never would have dreamed that. It's very surreal. It's very humbling, and I'm just enjoying it. And still, but at the end of the day, I'm still that little kid that just loves drag racing and still a big fan of it. Even though now I'm a big part of it.
And you're still fairly new to the NHRA scene as well. Last year, just kind of first full-time year and kind of going in and winning the championship right off the bat. And it's just been kind of, it's all taken off ever since. How much fun are you guys having right now? Not only with you winning, but just the camaraderie that the team has had and just this whole kind of, it's almost like the glory, a whole glory year type of thing, if, you could say it like that.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. Obviously we haven't had much stress because we're winning. Winning's always fun. You never want to lose, but you know, uh, us as a whole team, we all get along very well, which I think helps us be successful. We all help each other. Now Richard's on the team, and so it's basically Andrew and Ed are the crew chiefs. They bounce ideas off each other for both bikes. Andrew's primarily my crew chief. Ed's primarily Richard's. But overall as a whole team, we're having a lot of fun. That was the first thing, I kind of, when me and Andrew first sat down, probably after the first couple races, he looked at me, he's like, "You still having fun?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm having a lot of fun." Like I wouldn't be doing this if I wasn't having fun. That's always one thing I've always tried to focus on. When I used to dirt bike race, bracket race, drag racing, but bracket racing. If I'm not having fun, it's not worth doing. And I think that's what's made us as a whole team do very good is at the end of the day, we're having fun, even through the ups and the downs. We've had engine failures, red lights, stuff like that. It's just part of it, it's part of racing, especially drag racing. You could be at the top and be at the bottom just like that. It's a very humbling sport, and you know, um, yeah, we're having a lot of fun, and I'm curious to see if we can keep this going, or eventually, someone's gonna put a stop to it for sure. But all in all, I'm having a lot of fun.
I was gonna say, I guess before Virginia, before the finals last week, did you feel any extra pressure with the knowing that 10 was kind of on the horizon, or I know you'd said you just kind of block anything out and just go and race?
Yeah, I would say in Bristol, I had more pressure on me than Virginia. In Bristol, I only qualified fourth, and then Matt had like I think six, 700s on there on the field. So, I was nervous about Bristol going into the semis against him. I thought for sure, he was gonna have my number, but I got lucky there. I treat him, and we ended up running the same. So that was like I think that was the first whole shot win I've had throughout my career so far, and that's probably one of the highlights of my career, honestly, because Matt's a tough competitor. He puts in the hard work, and he's basically right there on my heels. We're going back and forth. I mean, and that's so much fun to me. I like good, tight competition, especially in drag racing, heads up, and that's how it should be. It's exciting for the rider, the fans, the teams. It just keeps everyone amped up on their heels. Pushing to do better. But last weekend in Virginia, I definitely felt the pressure. I mean, that it was one thing to do the tie Dave Schultz and surpass him, but to do the when you I actually stood back and thought about what is being accomplished or could be accomplished if I won Virginia. It was a lot to take in, and that part honestly didn't feel real to me. I mean, to think, basically now I've won the most races ever in NHRA history in a row is insane. Um, I mean, I honestly don't think anyone's ever going to break that. I mean, but anything's possible. Who would have thought I would have broke Bob Clinton's record, so or streak. But yeah, I definitely went into Virginia with a lot of being nervous. Anything could happen. I mean, I was first round against Chris Bostic. That was a close race. I heard him the whole time, and I peeked over a little bit to see where he was at, and I got him by like a bike because he treated me. I was kind of like, and in Virginia for sure. If you've seen each round, I was kind of all over on my lights. Usually, I'm very consistent. I mean, first round I think I had a 31, and the second round was like a 50 something, and then an 80. So I got very lucky. It's one of those things. Rather be lucky than good sometimes, and it paid off in my favor.
And yeah, it definitely did pay off in your favor. And as the champion, as the one who keeps winning, just there's always that, I guess, that target on in any sport. There's always, the target's always on the person's back, whoever is winning everything. It's like the Kansas City Chiefs in football or something. It's like the same thing, just and it kind of elevates everyone else's game. Just for you guys and for yourself, just through these first few races of the year. And how do you improve off of winning? I mean, obviously there's a lot of kind of fine tuning and everything else that goes into it, but kind of how do you, yeah, fine tune and make sure that you're continuing to elevate and, set that standard?
I mean, I think the biggest thing we got to do is not worry about what we've done so far, and continue focusing on the race ahead. You can never stop trying to improve the bike. Me as a rider, try to be more consistent, hit my shift points, the lights, all that. I think as soon as we take any of this for granted, that's when it's going to hurt us. And I think that's what me and Andrew are pretty good at. We focus at the task at hand as a crew chief and rider, and we're always on the same page. I think that's what's helped us a lot. So I mean, Andrew, Ed, Byron, all those guys back at the shop, they never are stopping as far as digging for more horsepower or trying to make more power, help the bikes, perform better on the track, help us as riders be more comfortable. So I think that's the biggest thing we do as far as preparing is you never want to stay stagnant. If you stay stagnant, you're kind of going to fall back or not continuing the progress forward. So I feel like we're as a whole team, we're very good at that.
And final couple questions. Yeah, with Pro Stock Motorcycle, they're kind of in a league of its own with the only non-car in NHRA. And I've always been curious about this. Is how does that feel? It's a very simple question. How does it feel to go 200 plus miles an hour on a bike, not being in kind of like a cockpit type of thing? I'm sure first time doing it probably felt a little eerie, a little weird.
Oh, it's very cool. I mean, not only that, but like the first initial 100 feet, the amount of G's. I mean, we pulled like I would say right around 3 G's, a little over sometimes. But that initial hit and then going, we definitely got to hang on. I mean, I've seen some people, the hand come off the handlebar, stuff like that, because they're not ready for it. So they're definitely a animal of their own. They're a beast to ride. But going 200, those bikes with the full fairings and all that, you really don't realize you're going that fast till you try to stop it. When you sit up and the wind's pulling on your helmet and stuff, it's that's when you realize. And honestly, I feel like slowing down is the I would say the scariest part of these things. But yeah, I mean, you don't the bikes are so smooth, they're like Cadillacs, unless something drastically goes wrong. But yeah, slowing down is definitely when you realize how fast you're going. The wind's hitting against you. I mean, I would feel like 90% of the crashes on any kind of drag bike, pro stock motorcycle, any of them, is in the shutdown area for sure. Because that's when people panic. That's when everything comes to reality, how fast you're really going. And then, the sand traps coming up, stuff like that. And obviously, we don't have no parachutes either. So it's all relying on brakes, the rider itself controlling the brakes and all that, where, the funny cars, dragsters, pro stock car, they all got the auto deployment of the chutes, which helps a lot for sure.
There's no way I'd ever hop on one of those things. You guys are insane in a good way.
Yeah,
Um,
right.
yeah, the final question, just where do you go from here? I mean, it's easy to say just keep winning, but aside from winning the championship again, just what do you guys want? What are some milestones or accomplishments that you guys as a team want to achieve before Pomona?
Us as a team, we want to keep doing what we're doing. Obviously, like you said, we all want to keep winning. But as a team, we wanna finish strong as a whole. We got two bikes on our team, and we got Kelly as part of our team, and then the rental bike's gonna be coming out soon too. So overall, I mean, we're all one big team, and we want to perform good as a team. So we're gonna try to focus on that, but also keep me, Richard, Kelly, all of us in the countdown, and try to. I mean, if we could finish one, two, three, that'd be awesome. But anything could happen. But uh, you know, um, obviously we're striving. Richard pushing really hard, and Ed to get their first win. So that's pretty fun in the pits because you know um, uh, we're all friends and stuff. But when it comes down to racing, they're against me and Andrew back and forth. I mean, it's a friendly rivalry under the same tent type of thing, and it keeps it fun, like like we were saying, and keeps it very interesting. So I think the biggest milestone for me, Richard, is we're going to try to see how many final rounds we could do as a team. Advanced science final round. That'd be. I mean, there's nothing cooler and better than that for sure.
And it helps having, kind of that to keep going, kind of push you further. He pushes, and everything else
Yeah.
kind of goes with it. Well, Gage, I appreciate you taking the time. And a little side note, thanks for helping me lock up that bracket bonanza top thing, last week.
Awesome.
First one, yeah. So that'll be cool. But good luck this weekend, and hopefully keep on chugging along. And I appreciate taking the time. Thanks for watching episode 63 with Gaige Herrera. First off, if you're wondering what that bracket stuff I was talking about there at the end of the show, well, let me tell you. Drag Race Bracket Bonanza gives fans the opportunity to fill out a bracket prior to NHRA eliminations on Sunday and predict who you think is going to win each round. If you have the most points out of anyone else, whether it be overall, funny car, top fuel, pro stock, or pro stock motorcycle, you win a cool plaque like you can see behind me here. Shout out to Gaige for helping me solidify that win. Needless to say, I'm going to keep filling those suckers out as much as I can. But man, it's just crazy to see the run that Gaige and his Vance and Heinz Motorsports team are on right now. I mean, 39 straight round wins dating back to last year, alongside those 10 consecutive wins, is just straight up insane. I mean, it'll be interesting to see how many more races they can remain perfect for. Well, that's all the time we have for today's show. Make sure to like and subscribe for more racing content. We got a lot more scheduled coming up, from interviews to live coverage. You don't want to miss anything. Be sure to follow us on X and Instagram at Behind Catch for all the latest. Thanks again for watching. Have a great rest of your day. Go enjoy some racing, and I'll catch you guys later.